Hello, welcome to my presentation. My name is Tom Godfrey. I'm a teacher and a teacher trainer, and I am the CEO of ITI Istanbul, which is a teacher training center based in Istanbul, Turkey. And my topic is social and emotional learning for teachers. Although the title specifies teachers, the activities that I'm talking about can be used with learners of all ages and all levels of English and in different contexts. I'd like to start by explaining the three principles that underpin my educational philosophy. So firstly, learners need to be engaged, and so do teachers, in order for any learning to happen. Second, learning is a social, dynamic and interactive process. So we learn by interacting and sharing and negotiating meaning with other people. And thirdly, only learners can learn. Teachers can facilitate the learning, but it's the learner's responsibility to do the learning. Teachers cannot learn for the learners. And these three principles probably don't seem very radical to you. Indeed, I suspect most teachers would broadly agree with all three of those. However, in my experience, they're actually rarely followed in practice, because most teachers pay these principles lip service, but fail to really understand the implications of what these principles mean. So I'd like to start by looking at each one in a bit more depth. Firstly, learners need to be engaged, and so do teachers. But what does engaged mean? It's not like as teachers we can switch it on and switch it off, switch on engagement and switch it off like a light. There's a range of engagement. So from being physically present in the classroom or in the Zoom room if it's online, sort of being mildly interested in the topic while scrolling through our mobile phone, and then being totally absorbed. So obviously the aim is to really get learners engaged is they're going to be in a state of total absorption. Sometimes this is described as being in a state of flow, where time seems to stop and the learners are totally concentrated on a task. And this is not a state that as teachers we achieve often. I mean, it does happen, but it's kind of not the norm. So I believe engagement needs to encompass the whole learner. It's holistic. So the learners need to be engaged physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. And this does not occur automatically. And as teachers, our responsibility is to build that engagement, to encourage that engagement. The second principle, learning is social, dynamic and interactive process. So learning occurs through interaction, sharing ideas, negotiating meanings. And in order for this to happen, we have to create a safe learning environment. A safe environment where learners are happy to self-disclose and talk about themselves. And the nature of the interaction between the teacher and the students, and between the students themselves, is where the learning happens. So how, as teachers, can we create this open, dynamic learning atmosphere? Again, it's not something that happens naturally. It's something that needs to be built. And the third principle, only learners can learn. Teachers can facilitate the learning. Um, Traditional models of education view teaching as a process of the teachers transmitting knowledge to the learners. And in this format, content is the king. So the curriculum is everything, and learning is equated with how much of the material is absorbed by the learners. So it puts the learners in a passive position, and it puts all the responsibility on the teacher's shoulders. But it doesn't work. I mean, unfortunately, all teachers know that it's only the learner who can do the learning. The teacher cannot learn for the learner. So my third principle highlights the vital role the teacher plays as a facilitator of learning. So showing through examples how to create a rich learning environment in which the interaction and a positive group dynamic is the most important element of the learning process.